Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News today at 6 starts now.
Police shut down Briarwood Mall for hours and asked people to stay away after a man is shot inside a department store. The mall will reopen this morning, but the shooter is still on the loose.
And parents are reacting to Michigan's new mandate requiring children as young as 2 to mask up as cases continue to surge.
And taking a look outside, we're off to a chilly start, of course, but we will see some sunshine a little later today. Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Priya Mann.
And I'm Grant Herms. Thanks for joining us this morning in Local 4 News today. I mean, this chilly start, the warm up to near 60, that's just the early spring in Michigan, right?
Absolutely. And I think spring is the operative word because the birds were certainly chirping this morning.
It has been really nice to feel that sort of spring-like energy out there, right? Get away from the dreariness of winter.
Absolutely. Andrew, we can feel the change in the air. It just might be a little slower than we'd like.
Exactly right. Certainly right. Birds certainly very active, trying to get us motivated this weekend. And guess what? At least we have dry weather. Yes, we are off to a chilly start with temperatures starting in the 30s to about 40 degrees for this morning, but it warms up pretty nicely. Partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout much of the day with a fair amount of sunshine to help boost our temperatures a bit. Yesterday's highs were in the middle 50s with some late day sunshine. Today, we'll see sunshine a little bit earlier rather than later. Low 50s by noon. Highs up to around 56 to 58 degrees later on today. Just slightly below average for this time of year. Out there right now, still looking good. 40 degrees, mostly cloudy over at the airport. Wind at around 5 miles per hour, not very gusty, so winds are behaving. In your neighborhood, also a bit chilly this morning. 37 for our friends and neighbors over in Port Huron. Temperatures in the middle, even low 30s though in some other parts of the area. Livingston County, Howell checking in at 33 degrees, while again, it's 42 over at City Airport. We'll talk more about Sunday's forecast, see if those temperatures go a little higher in minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Time now is 6:02 in the U.S. reaching another milestone on the vaccine front, with the CDC reporting more than 200 million doses administered so far.
Nearly 39% of the country has received at least one dose of a vaccine, with about 24% fully vaccinated. Here in Michigan, the surge of cases continues with 8,955 new cases in the last 24 hours, marking the second highest single-day total since the start of the pandemic.
And the state is also announcing more COVID restrictions, including limits on gatherings, restaurants, and entertainment venues, which will remain in effect through at least May 24th. Citing the rising cases, Apple has now temporarily closed all of its stores here in Michigan.
The state is also expanding its mask mandate to include children as young as 2 years old. That has many parents of toddlers skeptical of just how effective it can be.
Yeah, Jason Colthorpe has a reaction to the new rules.
Yeah, as any parent of a toddler will tell you, getting a 2-year-old to do anything is almost impossible. But doctors here agree with the state, and they say we have to try.
Try and put your mask on.
Soon to be the questions so many parents are heard asking their kids.
You know how to put it on?
Yeah, there you go.
And maybe with that exact result.
That's our good faith effort.
That's pretty much how Dane and Tiffany Teal expected to go when they try to get their soon-to-be 3-year-old son, Davis, to wear a mask. They're worried the state's new rules mandating 2- to 4-year-olds mask up can put parents in a tough spot.
Maybe a lot of people aren't understanding of 2-year-olds, and especially our 2-year-old. He's a little, he's a master negotiator, so he's good at getting what he wants. And if that's not wearing a mask, yeah, he'll act like a 2-year-old.
Very high chance they're going to take it off, drop it. It's going to get dirty, likely, if it lands on the floor, and then they're supposed to put it back on their face.
No, I think it's going to be a challenge.
Dr. Rudolph Valentini knows the struggle to mask up toddlers will be real, but he believes the benefit outweighs the inconvenience.
The mask is a two-way street, as we know. It protects the person wearing it, and it protects the person on the other side of the mask.
The Teals will make the effort, but like many parents, have no problem waving the white flag if the battle gets too fierce.
I don't expect him to keep it on all day. Not going to force it too much and make him upset.
The numbers of kids who are getting COVID around the state of Michigan are on the rise, according to Dr. Valentini. So far, the good news is hospitals aren't getting overrun with kids, but it's another example of why it's important kids at least try to wear the mask with this new mandate. I'm Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Jason. 4 people are rushed to the hospital after someone started shooting at a vigil in Detroit. This happened at the corner of Conant and Minnesota on the city's east side. Police say the victims, 2 men and 2 women, are all in their 20s. All 4 are expected to be okay. Police do not have a suspect in custody. If you have any information, you're asked to call Detroit Police.
A shooting at Briarwood Mall in Ann Arbor leaves 1 man with a gunshot wound and police on the scene for hours. When the 911 call first came in, it was reported as multiple shots fired inside the mall. Police later saying it was contained to the Von Maur store. Mara McDonald has more.
Ann Arbor police are not saying a lot on the record right now, but they will confirm this. From what they have seen inside here, from the videotape they have looked at, they say that the victim in this case, he was not a random target. Sky 4 over the mall, capturing how police congregated at the entrance of Von Maur and blocked off mall entrances to traffic and remained in that position for more than 4 hours.
Based on our current findings, it does not appear to be random.
When police got to the scene, they found a young man with a gunshot wound to the arm.
It is a non-threatening gunshot wound, it appears.
911 callers told police the shooting happened inside Von Maur, but officers went through the entire mall on foot, clearing the stores and looking for other victims. They found none, as well as looking for suspects who had apparently already taken off.
The suspect or suspects are still on the loose, and we're still trying to identify them.
While police confirmed that that shooting happened inside the mall, the victim made his way outside the mall, and that's where EMS and police found him. We're in Ann Arbor. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
This morning, 30 members of the royal family will gather to say a final goodbye to Prince Philip.
Right now, you're getting a live look at the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral being held entirely at Windsor Castle due to the coronavirus. The public is not allowed. Many traditional elements will remain with the military procession inside the castle. Here's Max Foster.
We're going to see some very powerful imagery. You're going to see the Queen sitting on her own in a church, remembering her husband of 73 years. But you're also seeing someone who had a rich and long life and had a huge interest in everything from sports to conservation to his Duke of Edinburgh award scheme to his military career. And all of that will be reflected, particularly in the procession and in the order of service as well. There will inevitably be a lot of attention on friction within the family, particularly between William and Harry. But I don't think you're going to see a lot of that, because in the procession, William and Harry do walk broadly alongside each other, but their cousin Peter Phillips will be in between them. Everyone will be wearing civilian clothing rather than military uniforms, and that will save Prince Harry of the embarrassment of no longer being able to wear a ceremonial military uniform, because he's been stripped of those ceremonial titles. The idea here, everyone's bought into it amongst the family, amongst the wider palace, is that all the attention should not be on those family dynamics, but instead on celebrating the life of 99-year-old Prince Philip when he died, but also looking ahead to a monarchy without him. So a lot of sympathy, of course, for the Queen. Max Foster, CNN, Windsor, England.
And special coverage of Prince Philip's funeral will begin at 9:30. You can watch it here on Local 4.
We do have a lot more coming up for you this morning, but we want to check back in with Andrew.
Andrew, you're saying that the temperatures are just slightly below average.
That's right, and that's one of the key things. Yes, it was much chillier earlier this week. Right now we're seeing a seasonable chill out there this morning with temperatures in the upper 30s to about 40 degrees. We'll talk about where temperatures go from here, the amount of sunshine we may see for today and this weekend, and of course your 7-day forecast coming up.